Hello and welcome back to Oxygen Not Include. Let's play episode 150. We are finishing up the last of these ranches, basically. Stations, grooming stations. Make these out of gold. Here, here, and here. And then we are going to have in food a critter drop-off point. Here, here, and here. Actually, I probably want this to be made out of insulated stuff as well. So let's go ahead and deconstruct these tiles. Replace them with some insulated stuff. We also kind of want to rewire this building disabled because the oxygen stores are all full. That's fine. We can live with that. Yeah, I want to get these slickster ranches up and running. We are going to wrangle ourselves up some slicksters and shove them in here. And we're going to clear out these, and we're going to use this area for something else, I think is the ultimate plan. So, let's go ahead. I can't just give a wrangle order for this guy, right? He's kind of also stuck in a bugged animation here. That's fine. So I'm wondering if I have time in this episode. There's some things I want to work on that are going to take a little bit of concentration on my part. However, yeah, I think we also just want to set up our air system here as well. Yeah, so let's go ahead and deconstruct along here. Get rid of all this. And we will say ventilation, gas pipe, igneous rock. We're just going to have this one extend on down to here. That way the system will unback itself. But then we are also going to add in another gas filter. Just like so. I think iron is fine here. This temperature should be good. Ventilation, gas pipe, igneous rock. Hook this up. And yeah, so we're pumping out oxygen there. We basically want to select carbon dioxide and have it pumped down to these areas here. Yeah, I'm willing to let this this hydrogen get out, I suppose. Let's go ahead and go like so. Actually, you know what? Cancel that. Cancel that. We'll have it go the other way. It's a little bit more awkward, but it'll be fine. Ventilation, gas pipe. Yeah, I think we're gonna say igneous rock. Have it go down like this, and then just to sort of use best practices, because we've been really sloppy with a lot of our piping. Let's actually start doing some piping the correct way. Sounds like a plan to me. So we're going to say gas bridge, like so, gas pipe, igneous rock. That way the gas never gets confused as to where it has to go. Right, there's always a priority line for it, basically. And we're just going to connect up like so. Perfect. Hook up all these. And then gas vent. Gold amalgam. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Looking good. We'll need some place for this gas to go. I mean, this is going to be like, what, chlorine? I don't really care too much. Ventilation, gas pipe, igneous rock. Just have this go out literally anywhere. I don't even really care. Iron is fine. Boom. And then we need to power this up. Power, wire. I guess we're using conductive wire. Fine with me. Slap down some iron, like so. Okay. That should get this starting to run again once we have all this set up. Okay. So we are getting all of this all set up. Let's go ahead and dig out some more stuff. So, other ideas that I have for DLC. I'll go through one of the smaller ones, in fact. I think we have time to do that. Okay. Another idea that I have for DLC, not a major one, but one that I think could be cool, is mechs. Like mech suits. I'm talking like SCVs from StarCraft / the thing that Ripley pilots in Aliens. You know what I'm talking about? Like construction mechs that you can build. And these mechs would basically... They would greatly increase a lot of duplicant abilities, like building speed, mining speed, strength, carrying capacity, all that stuff. But they would come at a big cost to two things. One is athletics. Like you would have, no matter what the athletics of the duplicant is, you would have like a -3 athletics whenever you were in one of these things, unless you were like a mech pilot. You had trained for that job, and then you would have like an athletics of 2 or something. I don't know. Whatever you need to kind of balance it out, those numbers could change. Basically, you'd be slower, heavier, but stronger. You'd have a lot of advantages and a lot of other skills when you were in a mech suit. The mechs would... I guess we go seasoned farmer here. The mechs would probably run off of like petroleum or crude oil or some other thing. I mean, there's a lot of... If you wanted to have some separate fuel for them, you could. Right, there's other things you could have them fueled off of if you really wanted to, but they run off of some fuel. There's like a dock where they can refuel. But basically, these mechs would greatly boost mining, building, carrying, all this stuff at the expense of athletics. And also, they would be larger, and they would require like special infrastructure to kind of move around. So what I mean by that? I mean they would be like 2x3. And all their pathfinding would be based off of 2x3, basically, right? Okay, got all those guys sorted out. Have we almost cooled down this thing? We're coming real close. There's not a lot. Almost all the rest of the steam is about to condense. Okay. And then we can start pumping out everything and getting ourselves ready for the next step on this retrofit. I also kind of wanted to redo this thing into like an astronaut's quarters, which is not really happening. While we're at it, utilities, drywall, Maffic rock is fine. Just slap some down here. And let's go ahead and... if I deconstruct with the suit still in, I get the suit back, right? I don't think there's a problem with that. Clearance, vacancy... Okay, yeah. I've never actually seen that setting before. Okay. Why did I pause? Okay. There's also another job master I need to deal with. Abe, done as a research assistant. Ready to begin work as scientist. Sounds great to me. Okay. So, mechs. There'd be some purpose for them in that, right? Like, in certain situations, if you're using them correctly, they could be really important to getting a lot of stuff built quickly, right? You need to supply them with a bunch of stuff, right? Fuel, you need to have docking stations. If you wanted to move them up and down through levels, maybe there's like an elevator that you should build, right? Like imagine like a freight elevator that you could build in the game that would move up and down and carry mechs along with it. I think would be cool. But it might be like the thing that you might have to do in space if you want to be safe, right? Like, because right now, right, these asteroids that are falling, I could get hit by one of those. It still wouldn't do much of anything, right? Like a duplicant could go straight on, get hit by that asteroid, and maybe they lose like 5 health, right? Maybe you use mechs, you tie them into the game by making that damage greater and making the damage resistance of the mech, right, a lot higher. That way, there's a reason to kind of use them. Because let's be honest, nothing I've described so far really makes me want to say, like, it's cool, and you might want to do it because it's cool, but none of it really says, like, oh, yeah, I got to have this because, you know, it's so important that I have my mechs going around, stomping on everything. Are we set here? I think we're almost ready to just dig through here. Also, I want to start setting up a bunch of other stuff. In fact, maybe it's time to start building some of our rocketry type things. Maybe. Okay, but for now, deconstruct buildings. Get all this out of here. Is this the time to do that? Maybe. Ladder. Get a little bit more scaffolding up around here. Okay. But I would also have mechs be a thing that you, on space missions, would need to bring with you to access some of the top tier resources. Like maybe you couldn't bring back niobium or fullerene or any of the current like high-end space materials unless you brought like a drilling mech with you to work on that stuff, right? Turner done as a courier. No. Is this an old message? Mima's done as a miner. There we go. Season miner, why not? Let's get rid of all these. Okay. So, mech suits. You run around. They have advantages, right? In that you can go stomping around and have increased stats in various areas, right? Cool. I would also have them be something that you take on with you to space to access high-end materials. And you need to bring like a mech pilot with you to pilot the thing, right? He'd be like the guy who leads the outside of the rocket missions, right? Like he's the guy who goes out, right? The pilot stays in the rocket. This guy goes out to dig out the materials. That kind of sort of thing, I think would be cool. And so you can gate some stuff behind developing mechs, right? Like maybe you can get to space, but you can't access all of the space materials yet because you need to send up like a mech module with a pilot in it to go into space and to mine those things. I'd also think it'd be kind of cool. Let's just get rid of some of this stuff. Having this not be filled in is kind of what's allowing things to, right? Like if we saw it actually happen this time, something hit right here and it got that stuff. Anyways, I'd also have like a mech fighting ring, right? Where guys can spar against each other. Let's take out this one as well. And let's find some place for these Weezewarts to go, shall we? I've probably vacated some spaces elsewhere. Didn't I? Aren't there available things somewhere? Yeah. Plant a wart seed back down here. And plant one here. Okay. I'd have like a little mech fighting ring as a recreation / morale / whatever building, and I'd have it be like more complicated than the setup that we have already, right? Like the setup that we have right now is just there's a building, they go, they dance, it's nice, right? But like I'd have it so that you'd have like a spectator area. It would give you a big morale boost, a big stress relief, but it would require some setup. You'd need to have a couple mech pilots to go and do the show, right? Where they spar off against each other. The spectators would get a buff. Where are my idle guys at? Wandering about. Okay. Let's actually pause for a moment and plan out how we want all of this area to go. So I kind of want to have this coolant just loop around here. Yeah. I think that's something that we want to do. So I have it depositing out here. That's fine. Let's say plumbing, liquid pipe. I think we're going to stick with igneous rock. Oh, we're using obsidian for here. That's actually a good idea. Plumbing, liquid pipe, obsidian. Let's have this coolant just go kind of around this area. It's not going to deposit too much heat because we're running it through this insulated area. But we're just basically going to, yeah, run it all the way through here, I think. Get rid of all this. Get rid of this. Okay, get to work on that. And we're going to get rid of this stuff here that we have. Also, let's go ahead and mop up this. And we can leave this open. We're just ultimately going to deconstruct that. Okay, looking good. While we're at it, what do we want here? Plastic tile? Do we want to replace this all with plastic tile? I think if it's space, it's all going to be plastic. That's the plan. Plastic tile all the way across here, please. Plastic is the material of the future. That's what our astronauts are going to be using. Okay. Deconstruct any liquid pipes while we're at it. Hopefully plumbers will do those jobs. Okay. Okay, it's taken a while, but the idea. Mechs. Space construction vehicles of the sort that we saw in Aliens, right? That Ripley pilots at the end to go fight the, power wires. Or like SCVs from StarCraft or something along those lines. I think could be really cool. And then the way I'd tie them into the game, have them be something that lets you get high-end space materials, have like an actual module that you bring with you to get your high-end space materials. And you'd have to put a mech and a mech pilot in the rocket, basically, in that module to be able to bring back the top-tier stuff. And then have a morale / stress relief building, right? That relies on you having 2 mech pilots doing like a sparring session with the mechs. Like there'll be a set animation. Basically, the thing goes on for some number of seconds, and then anybody who goes and sits down in a spectator chair while this show is going on, while the building is active, right? Will get a like stress relief buff, a morale boost, or whatever. They'll get pumped up watching the entertainment. I think also you could have varieties of mechs, like have them excel at particular tasks. But the other big thing that I would be adding in here is like a transportation system that can be used with the mechs, or sort of is designed to be used with the mechs, but could just be used on its own, like elevators type things. I think could be pretty cool. What do we have here? None of you have diver's lungs. More lime, please. Sure, why not? Let's wrangle up these bad boys as well. Just get them out of here so they don't eat things. Okay. How are we doing? Also, we've had insufficient oxygen generation for a while, so I'm thinking of just opening up another... Let's go ahead and do that. Base, airflow tile, iron's fine. Go ahead and set one up here. Okay. Plant another wart seed. Have we cleared out all of the wart seeds from up here, is the question. It looks like we have. So I think we're ready to just go ahead and dig in through here and let these areas basically mix thermally. We have our whole barrier down here. Yeah, I think we're good. We're just going to open this up. Priority 6 stuff. Sounds good. Maybe I should build a door. Just so I can deny entry into this area, because I don't want them running in here to like gather thimbleweed. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's build a door, like, you know, just go ahead and build it right here. I'm fine with that. And then we're going to do something with this whole area eventually. I mean, I don't know. Actually, we're probably not going to do anything with this area. This is like this is a plan that we had from back before we sort of limited what we were going to do with the base. This all should be fine though. Okay. Anything else I want to work on right now? Oh yeah. We're gonna go ahead and store all of our gold. Not metal ore, refined metals. Where is it? Refined metal, gold. Put this at a 6. Copy settings across here. And then we'll go ahead and dump our gold here. Yeah, because this area is starting to heat up, and that's not good. We want to, like, why do we even have this? Set this to open. Go ahead and put this all down here. Yeah, all little minor scalds. Vitals. Yeah, some minor scalding. That's fine. Once we get all this gold out of here, should be doing a little bit better. Oh, I don't have a pump here. Oh. Yeah, we want to put a pump back in here. Temperature setting, activate if above. We're going to say 60. Plumbing. Yeah, we need a pump in here. Iron ore is probably fine. Slap this down here. Make this a high priority. Temperature is this. 61.6. That's fine. Yeah, this is just a little bit scalding. It'll cool down. We have these wheezeworts working here. I could throw in another, I suppose. Yeah, we generated some steam here, which is awkward. I'm not quite sure how that happens. I think the... Right, like in theory, this water should be in good enough thermal communication that we don't generate steam like that, but... I don't know, this is fine. Okay. I'm about to cut the episode here. Had a chance to talk about another DLC idea that I have. Got a good amount of progress done. We're kind of prepping this area for us doing some work on it. In fact, we can go ahead and give deconstruct orders for this as well. Okay. Looking good. Oh, there are a few other little things that I want to do before the Quality of Life Mark III update hits. So, for example, like we have germs in here, right? And that's fine. And we see all of our duplicants have a little bit of germs in them. It's actually kind of like a good thing to just have them have a little bit of slime lung in them. That way they can't get food poisoning, which is going to be the more dangerous germ. But the way that the germ system works is going to be overhauled in the next update. So, oh wow, this was not what we wanted to have happen down here. How do we get food poisoning in there? Where do we draw our water from? I was pulling the water from here, right? How did we get food poisoning? Did some sort of decay happen? Anyways, we're going to want to clean up the base germ-wise. Like right now, we're still 100% immunity on everybody, but the way the germ system works is changing, so we'll need to make some adjustments. Maybe. I mean, maybe we won't need to do anything. I still don't know what kind of the exact specs are for the new system. Also, I want to dig into here at some point. Maybe I just need to access it from the other side. Maybe one of these doors opens and the other one doesn't. Alright. Gonna cut things here, though. Mechs. Mech suits. They do stuff. You put them in spaceships. You fight with them for duplicant amusement. It wouldn't be a full DLC by itself, not with just that idea, but I think it could be cool as part of an add-on. And with that, I will bid you guys adieu. Alright, catch you guys next time.